Yo, what's good, you guys? I'm back with another loop tutorial, and this one is going to be a Key Glock loop breakdown, and this is one of my favorite loops that I've made recently, so I'm super excited to share with you guys and break it down, let you guys know how I did it. But without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to play the final loop for you guys, let you guys hear it, and here it is. So the first sound that I started with was this bell from Mount Flux. It's one of my favorite bell plugins, so definitely check it out if you're looking for bells. So this pattern is super simple. It's literally the same thing over and over again. I just made a pattern from right here to right here, and I just copied it over the entire way. But obviously you can tell that it's halftime. So let me go through the mixer track. So without the halftime on it, this is what it sounds like. And I initially made this pattern knowing that I wanted to halftime it. So that's one thing you can do. You can make something that's super fast and then knowing that you're gonna halftime it, and it's gonna come out pretty cool. So the halftime I have on there is just one bar, the 100% mix, so nothing too crazy. I got Portal on there, just to give it its reverb clock, it's called, just to give it a little bit more bounce, a little bit more depth to it. And then I got RC20 on there as well. So after I made that initial bell pattern, I exported it, which is, you can see it right here, and then I reversed it. So that's definitely some sauce. One of my favorite things that I've done recently in a lot of my loops is I'll make an initial pattern and then I'll export it and then reverse it, and I'll layer it on top, and it comes out pretty cool. All I have on there is Valhalla and EQ. So here's another tip that I actually didn't really incorporate in my loops until recently. Using panning. Panning can be really effective. That way you can really make your sample sound really big. So what I did here is I made that initial pattern, like I said, with the bell, and then I exported it and layered it with itself, and I just reversed it. So what I did was I had one pan to the left and one pan to the right. So you can see here with the first mallet flux, I panned it to the left, just a little bit. You don't need to go crazy all the way to the left, just a little bit. And then with the reverse layer, you can see I panned it to the right. So once again, just keep it real simple. Also, with the exported reverse pattern, I actually pitched it up. One thing I didn't even realize. Once you export a sound, you can manipulate it in so many different ways versus just having it in that initial pattern as a VST. Once you export it, you can reverse it, you can pitch it up and down. There's so many things you can do to it. So that's what I did here. So the next sound that I added was this piano from Keyscape, Cinematic. Nothing crazy, but that is a common thing with a lot of Key Glocks. Dark Melodies is having that deep piano, kind of similar to Lil Baby Melodies, but the difference is Lil Baby's is a little bit more movement, a little bit more melodic. He might have his come down a few and then back up or whatever. But with Key Glock, it's kind of a little bit more repetitive, and it definitely helps with the dark vibes. On that sound, all I have is Valhalla and EQ. The next sound that I added was from Balkan Ethnic Orchestra, a really dope contact bank. Definitely check it out. It's kind of expensive and it's really big, but it's really good. Definitely check it out if you're looking for ethnic sounds. One thing that you're gonna notice in this loop, everything is repetitive. And if you're making a dark loop, you definitely want to keep things repetitive. You really don't need to make a huge pattern that's complicated and crazy. Just keep it really simple, because the more simple it is, the more catchy it's going to be. On that, all I have is Valhalla and some EQ. Then I added a accent from Max Shooter. On the Max Shooter accent, all we have is Valhalla and some EQ. Next, probably the main sound in the whole loop is that vocal. Definitely probably the most noticeable sound in the loop.
Terrified to see you hiding in the darkness, colder when it's twilight. I've been feeling restless.
And it's just like, I don't know. Okay, so I found this on Splice. So Splice has a lot of good vocals. I definitely utilize that a lot. I love this vocal. When I heard it, it just sounded so dark and so like monotone and just like exactly what I needed. So definitely check out Splice. So for the mixer track, I have some Valhalla on it, Thermal, and EQ, and I definitely recommend checking out Thermal if you don't have it. It goes really well on a lot of sounds. It goes great on vocals. I think that's what it goes best with, but you can really use it on any sound just to add some distortion, make it sound a little bit more crazy. The last layer that I added was another bell from Outflux. I just wanted to layer it pretty much, just add a little bit more variety to it, make it sound a little bit more crazy. Obviously, this is probably not really something that you even notice, but in the grand scheme of things of the whole loop, it definitely adds a lot to it. And just at this point, you're just layering things. You don't need to add anything really intense or anything intricate. You're just adding little pieces that's gonna make that loop really stand out that much more. All right, so that's it for the final loop. I just pitched it up just a little bit, and I'm gonna play the final loop for you again, just so you can hear it.
Terrified to see you hiding in the darkness, colder when it's twilight. I've been feeling restless.
That's it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely look out for more loops. I'm about to be traveling a little bit. I'm going back home to Seattle, so I'm probably gonna have a video maybe the end of this week for you guys, but definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, and let's have a good week.